Hello and welcome to Shifting Lanes. My name's Chad and today we're here to talk about time, specifically the minute. I don't know what you can do in a minute, but Ford sells 2 of these every minute. This is an F-Series pickup truck, and in 2018 Ford sold just over 909 thousands of these things. It is without question the pickup truck sales king. It is the vehicle sales king in the United States. This is without question one of the best-selling vehicles of all time. Today, we're here to find out, is it worthy? Should this be the best-selling vehicle in the country? So what do we have here? Well, this is Ford's 2019 F-150 Limited. What does the Limited mean? Well, that means this is yet another truck that comes with every single bell and whistle you could possibly want in a pickup truck. So we have things like a leather wrapped steering wheel. We have leather seats that are both heated and ventilated. Now, the color choice may not be my particular brand of tea, but to each their own. We have a Bang & Olufsen stereo. We have a backup cam. We have a trailer assist. We have a trailer backup assist. We have 360 view. We have a 3.5 liter turbocharged V6 making a butt ton of horsepower. We have selectable 4-wheel drive. We have a big clear digital screen between the analog instruments up front. Basically, this is not your ordinary pickup truck. This is a pickup truck for either the boss, plenty of legroom back there for all the employees and so on, or someone who wants a pickup truck but also wants a lot of creature comfort. So we're gonna go for a drive and see what's what and see if the F-150 lives up to its sales numbers. And we start actually on the outside of this truck, what this truck actually looks like. Now, it's not an ugly truck, it's not a bad looking truck, it's actually a very handsome, tough looking truck. However, it does kind of tread on the line of being a little much. And what I mean by that is that the F-150 looks like if you told a 3rd or 4th grader to draw a picture of a truck, what it would end up looking like. It has that air of Tonka feel to it, and that's by no means a bad thing, but I do think there are better looking vehicles in this class. The Ram for 2019 immediately springs to mind, but the exterior on this truck is by no means bad. It's just different. Same kind of goes for the interior here. Now, I'll be 100% honest, when I first got into this interior, saw the center console, saw the touchscreen, all of that, I was a little disappointed because, as I will touch on later, this is not a cheap vehicle. This is actually a very expensive vehicle, and everything at first didn't really line up with what I thought it should be. However, as I drove it, as I got more accustomed to the truck, as I kind of learned more of its features and everything like that, I actually came to the realization that the interior is a very, very nice place to be. The buttons that kind of made it look a little dated because they're oversized and a little in your face, well, that makes them all the easier to press. So if I want to change the radio station, if I want to change the climate control, do any of that sort of stuff, I can operate all of these controls, and I can even do so while wearing gloves, which, when we're talking about what is essentially a work vehicle, is a very, very good feature to have. The steering wheel has a very quality feel to it. Everything you can touch while being big and easily accessible has a quality feel to it. The leather feels nice. The seats are comfortable. They are adjustable in as many ways as you possibly could want. They are heated and they are ventilated. So after a hard day's work, they can help cool you down. Or on the flip side, you get out in the winter, they'll heat you right up. I mean, it is pretty spectacular how fast these seats both heat up and cool down. The one noticeable omission, I will say, for this truck is the lack of a wireless charger. I understand that's on the very, very, very nitpicky side of things, but again, this isn't a cheap vehicle, and when you shell out the amount of money that this truck costs, you kind of expect to have everything. Is it a reason not to buy this truck? Absolutely not. You can plug your phone in, everything will work fine. It's just one of those things that when you spend a lot of money, you kind of want. On to what might be the best part of this truck, and that is the engine. Now, it is an EcoBoost, but it's not the 2.7 or even the standard 3.5. What we have is the high output 3.5 liter EcoBoost engine. It's got 2 fuel injectors per cylinder. You have one in the intake port and you have another one direct injection right in the cylinder itself. And what that means is, put your foot down, and you have 450 horsepower and a class-leading 510 foot-pounds of torque at your disposal. Put that all together, and what that means in the simplest terms possible is you have the exact same engine up front as the Raptor does, but now you're wrapped in all of this luxury. The transmission, well, that's a 10-speed affair because more is better when it comes to gears nowadays. It shifts relatively smoothly once it's warm. I don't know if it's just the tester we have, but I have noticed, especially when it's cold in the morning and everything like that, the transmission really isn't that happy. Now, it's by no means janky or cheap feeling or anything like that. It doesn't shift as crisp as it normally does once everything is up to temperature. Now, when you take that 510 foot-pounds of torque, run it through 10 speeds, and a cab that's made out of aluminum in addition to the bed, you get a vehicle that weighs 4,653 pounds. And the end result of that is a truck that gets up and goes, man. This is a supremely quick truck, surprisingly so when you consider what it is. That lightness you can also feel through the corners. Now, it's obviously a full-size pickup truck, but the F-150 does take corners pretty good, and you don't get a ton of body roll. The suspension isn't jarring. You do have independent front suspension up front there. This is a fairly comfortable truck. It'd be even more comfortable if it had 20-inch rims instead of 22s, but again, that's a matter of personal preference. This truck is, from a dynamic thing, is pretty impressive, and we took it on some off-road trails as well, and it more than holds its own when the pavement ends. Another thing, all that power, torque, the transmission, the lightweight construction of the body and the bed, what that means? Well, we can tow upwards of about 13,000 pounds. We have a payload in the back of about 2,000 pounds. So when it's time to put this truck to work, she will happily do it. And you get to do it in leather seats and a premium Bang & Olufsen stereo. This is a truck for, basically, that's all things to all men. So we set off to find out just whether or not this truck is worthy of its spectacular sales numbers. It is a sales phenomenon. And, well, to put it simply, yes it is. This is just a good truck. It does everything you want a truck to do. It has good towing. It has good get up and go. It has good storage. Not to mention, being that it's the Limited, it's pretty luxurious inside. It has every single bell and whistle that you could want in it. It is just a good truck, and it should be. Ford has been doing this for decades now. They know how to make a quality truck. They know how to innovate when it comes to truck design. The F-Series, or in this case, the F-150 Limited, is just a damn good truck. Now, how much does all of that damn good truck cost? Well, the F-150 we tested tips the scales at just over $72,000. $72,000. That is a spectacular amount of coin to part with. Ford is effectively a work vehicle. People are buying trucks more and more and more because they use them outside of work. Hell, some people even buy trucks just because they want one. So the truck makers see a need, they fill that need, and that's why you end up with trucks like this, the Limited. You could call it the boss's truck, you could call it the going to town truck, but at the end of the day, trucks like this are meant to sell to, well, everyone. And even in that case, these trucks do a really good job. However, if $72,000 is a, let's call it a little out of your price range, much like the Ram we tested, you can get every trim level you want, or could possibly want, in the F-150. Really, there's a shoe for every foot, as it were. There's every truck to suit every kind of need, and that's why the F-150 and pickup trucks in general sell the way they do. And that's a wrap on my review of the F150 Limited. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. I get that you're a ferociously loyal bunch. Just see the Ram review for some of the really fun arguments that happened down there. The F150, it's a really good truck. You really understand why they sell so many of these just by driving this around. Now, if you want to find Shifting Lanes out on social media, we're at Shifting Lanes. Me personally, I'm at Chenedy83. If you want to help support the channel, get yourself some nice swag, head down to our Teespring account, link below, and get yourself some Shifting Lanes gear. We have Shifting Lanes shirts, and we have shirts for all of our project cars, and we're going to be launching a really cool shirt very, very soon. Also, you can hit us up on Patreon. Every dollar we make from there and our Teespring sales, we put directly back into the company, whether it be our project cars, whether it be getting better gear so we can bring you higher quality reviews and things of that nature. We really appreciate all the support you guys have already given us and have considered giving us. Trucks, man, they outsell everything in this country. And I kind of get why. But I'll see you next time.